No one wanted to give me a chance back then.
Right now, really extremely tired. Don't want to go lift right now. Don't want to do anything right now. But I keep telling myself, who wants to do this right now? I'm going to be the one who carries the boats and the logs. So, you gotta get after it. I'm saying? I work in the competition. I have no talent. It's literally, all I do is just outwork the competition. Of course, it's not super early right now. It's only around like 5:30. It's not too early. But, yeah, I'll work in the competition. Right now, it's around 6:30 in the morning. Not way too early, but I've been up since 5:50 around that time, and I didn't want to go lift today. Did not want to go lift today. I was making a ton of excuses, saying, "Oh yeah, my throat's hurting, whatever it is." Maybe it is a little bit. Who knows? It is hurting a little bit. A little bit of the throat hurting is not gonna mess me up. I'm still able to walk up the stairs. I can lift. I don't think I'm doing way too much. You need that one sneeze to just knock you out. So that sneeze woke me up. Right now, really early in the morning. Not super early, but 6:30 in the morning. Day after Christmas. Everyone stayed up last night, including me. And this is the rough part about this is I went to sleep around 11:40 because I was I was up late. I was editing some video, stuff like that. So I went to sleep around 11:40, but I could have been editing till 8 p.m. There's no excuse, or I didn't really take that long. It was like a little bit of a process. I made it longer than it should have been. But no, I actually had a video last night that I did sort of well, like in the wrestling community. I had a couple of Cornell wrestlers, like an All-American guy, a couple other guys, like really the high-level D1 guys. Bunch of schools really just liking the post, and I even had the wrestler in the school. He's actually from Long Island. I'm not sure what part. He went here. He was a New York State champ finalist, and I don't know, things like that. But yeah, anyways, the thing was that he actually saw the post. He liked it, and he reposted the reel for like an hour, and then he canceled it. I'm not too sure. He had no repost, so it kind of made sense a little bit why he didn't keep it up. And also, the match was his loss. I don't understand why he would repost it. I'm not dissing him. I'm saying, why would you repost a video you losing? I would never do that. But no, it was a really good match, so I kind of understand his point of view. And maybe that was for some varsity minutes or whatever. I don't think, because he's only a first year, so. I picked the match because it was the most it was the best match in the dual meet. It's saying a lot how I think the dual meet was a lot more of the younger guys that were wrestling in the dual meet. There wasn't a lot of older guys wrestling there. So yeah, he was a standout there, and it's pretty good for a first year. I'll say that, like a real first year. Came straight out of high school, so yeah, that's pretty cool. And yeah, that's that. But yeah, where was I supposed to? What was I going with this? I'm just talking about what was going on last night. But anyways, right now, really early in the morning, didn't want to go lift right now, and it's not going to be an easy lift today. Maybe I take it a little easier because I'm not feeling 100%. I just couldn't go back to sleep. I'm going to be really honest. I was sleeping. I woke up at like 5:40, 50, so, I don't know, something like that. So, or I got around like 6 hours of sleep. 5.5, 6 hours sleep. So I'm not like dead, but I'm like sort of tired. So this is gonna push me, make me more mentally tough. And it's always these days that make you the strongest and the best. It's like these days where you don't want to do anything. And this is like a punishment for last night. I stayed up late, and now I have to deal with the consequences. Right now, this lift is going to be a little bit harder than before. Especially, also there's a reason why I'm going at this time, and not like at 8:30, which I initially wanted to do when I slept last night. Which is because there's going to be a lot of people here today. It's the day after Christmas. A lot of people are off. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people are going to be here. You know what I'm saying? So it's not going to be this crazy packed like New Year's, for example. I'm a little scared. I mean, I'm not too scared because I go at 8 a.m. If I went at like 11 a.m., Oh my god, 11 a.m. Oh my god, imagine that. Usually it's not too crowded, but imagine that New Year's Day, everyone's waking up late. They're like, all right, this is my day of getting the gym membership. There's no problem with that. The only problem is like, it just it takes up a lot of space. I'll be honest. I don't have too much of an issue with it. I never really had that experience where there was a lot of guys in the gym at New Year's Day. Last year there wasn't even anybody. No, I don't think there's gonna be a lot this year. Because what ended up happening was last year, everyone kept making videos about it all the time, and then when it came New Year's, no one came. Everyone just stayed home because like they don't want to be judged. You know what I'm saying? Because of the New Year's thing. So maybe there's not gonna be a lot of people, but today there's gonna be a lot of people. So I said, I'm just gonna go today. Still feeling a little off. Hopefully, when I get into the gym, I'll get my rhythm a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And, because it's always these days. It's never about the wins. It's never about the losses. It's about how hard you can push yourself through these type of failures. These type of days where you don't want to do anything. This is where the real wins come from. You know what I'm saying? Where you beat sit on the bed. Where you beat sit on the couch. You know what I'm saying? That's where the real wins come from. Nobody cares at the end of the day how much achievement you had. Oh yeah, you were All-American? That's sick. No one cares. You know what I'm saying? It's what it does for your mind that really matters. Strengthen your mind. You don't want to strengthen your outside, just strengthen your inner self, not just your outer self. Don't make it look like on the outside you have all these achievements, but you have a weak mind. Grow your mind. You know what I'm saying? That's where the real growth comes from. That's the whole importance of it. And that's something that a lot of people miss. A lot of people chase the achievements, whether it's wrestling, whether it's football, whatever its sport is, whatever it is, even money, whatever it is, and they'll get it eventually, or maybe they'll miss out on that a little bit, and they'll be like, oh yeah, I just wasted my entire time. Because the entire time, they would just focus on getting that one goal. If they didn't get that one goal, then the whole time was a waste of time. And some people say that to themselves, like, oh yeah, if we don't get this goal, it's a waste of our time. We're gonna go as hard as possible. And that's a decent mindset, but just enjoy the whole process. It's these moments. In 4 years' time, I'm gonna be a lot more stronger than I am right now. And I'm gonna be in a much more better position in terms of my content and everything. I mean, it's looking pretty good right now, the daily recaps. I think what I'm gonna do now for the daily journey videos is actually play music above it and just show my day. I know it's a little boring, but I gotta get the watch time up and gotta make my videos as best as possible. You know what I'm saying? So that kind of sucks that I have to do that, but I'm like show my whole day with the music. I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It'll help the watch, help get pushed out of people, and people like that more. But I was really enjoying, showing my authentic self. It's just that social media does not reward that. That's the only issue. And maybe, I'll do that on the rest days, actually. The rest days I'll talk, but on these days where I'm lifting right now, of course, it would have been great to talk right now. Maybe I could do that tomorrow. Not tomorrow. I'm lifting tomorrow. But yeah, today's not really too big of a day. I only have shoulder press, which is a kind of a big deal, sort of. But that's really it. I'm lifting everything else, but I'm not really pushing it to as hard failure as before. It's more of a lighter day today, so happy there. More about high sets and stuff like that. Yeah, you see right here. Let me see. This guy's probably looking behind me and be like, why is this guy driving so? I'm just checking to see. There's not a ton of people here. There's a decent amount. I'm probably gonna park close so it's really cold outside and I do not want to walk. Whew. Is this place even open? Yeah, it has to. There's someone there, right? They're fine. Parking the front is very empty. Like there's nobody in the front, so I don't know what that says about the whole place right now. Very empty. This place is very empty. The entire parking lot's really empty. You're not gonna see this at like 10 a.m. today. You're gonna see 10 a.m. It's gonna be crazy packed, and everyone's gonna be like. But right now, even though it's not super early, stacking up hours still against everyone else. Not early like 3 a.m., but still stacking hours. But yeah, I'll be back. My shoulder press right here, I did 155 for 6 reps. I did 2 times.
And then afterwards, I did weighted pull-ups right here. And these were a little bit like, messy, a little bit sloppy the first step you can see. But afterwards, I think I did alright. But yeah, very fatigued from my shoulder press.
I'm exhausted, you know what I'm saying? Push myself hard and push myself to its limits. I'm not exhausted because of the workout. I'm not feeling too good anyways, regardless. Actually, I talked about a little bit how I was feeling a little sick. I was actually sick. I just wasn't saying it on the camera. The reason why I didn't want to say it on the camera or anything like that was because I didn't want to tell my mind that I was weak. You know what I'm saying? If you keep saying stuff out loud, like you say, I'm sick and stuff like that, you believe it, and then you actually do it worse because you have that feeling. The whole workout became so well because I kept telling myself, you feel perfect, you feel perfect. I'm gonna be honest, the entire time I was doing my workout, I usually listen to music. I was listening to the Rocky soundtrack on my headphones because music is a tool and it can hurt you or it can harm you, and you always gotta be really careful about what you put in your head. You could sometimes be listening to bad music that is telling you all these type of bad stuff, and you keep watching bad stuff, you're consuming all this bad stuff, and then you eventually do the bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? Even though if initially you would never initially do it, but since you're consuming it so much, your mind eventually tells yourself that this is normal, what you're doing, this bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's why you see a lot of people that'll start, drinking, doing this whole type of stuff, because they're normal, athletes going out and doing parties and stuff like that. You'll see a lot of athletes are not doing the right things all the time. Put that there because the sun's getting a little bit in the face. You see, a lot of the athletes aren't really doing the right thing all the time, and some people would get a little upset, be like, "Oh yeah, there's I hate them so much." You're saying on there, they get all this attention and stuff like that, and then they can keep doing all this stuff, but they can do anything because they have good genetics or whatever it is. I get happy when I see other athletes doing bad stuff because I'm like, this is where I'm winning when I'm working hard. Sure, let's say for example, they do have better athletic achievements than me. They do better than me on the wrestling mat, whatever it is. I don't think a lot of wrestlers do it. There's a lot more other athletes like football players, lacrosse players do it more than I would say wrestlers. I think a lot of wrestlers are really disciplined because it takes a lot of discipline to wrestle in college. You'll see how quickly it exposes, college wrestling. It really exposes you. A lot of people aren't really knowing what they're getting into when they wrestle in college. It's like a completely I feel like as well. I was thinking about it last night. I'm like, did I make it look easy? The fact that I was wrestling in college and wrestling this high level competition, despite the fact that my high school career went so bad at the end. Did I make it look easy? This entire time, I was a college starter. But yeah, you can hear in my videos, I feel like an imposter all the time. I feel like I don't belong. Even though I started on a college team, wrestling against some of the best kids in the country, I still don't feel like I belong, really. That's how I used to think. I still, not as much, but now I'm starting to realize how hard what I was doing actually was. Because I never sat back and thought, you really did all of that despite everything you started off with. And anyone that wrestles in college gets a ton of respect. Not because because they're doing a sport in college. It's because the level of discipline, the level of dedication you need. Of course, there's some athletes, a lot of wrestlers and stuff like that, who are naturally gifted, that can handle the mat, stuff like that. They have a lot of strength training, whatever it is. But I feel like I get a lot more respect from the higher wrestlers and stuff like that than others because I started off at such a low point and such a disadvantage. I feel like some people don't truly understand how hard it was. When I started by losing weight and stuff like that, I can't believe this still. I'm in this position where I am right now. I never would have thought I would be wrestling in college. I never even thought I would get out of that dark place I was in. You know what I'm saying? Wrestling in high school. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Wrestling in jail, doing a sport in high school. I never would have thought I'd ever do that. You know what I'm saying? And just wrestling in college, wrestling against some of the top guys in the country, and now it makes it look like I made it look easy. There was some guy from my high school. He wasn't crazy dedicated, but he's like, all right, I'll just wrestle in college because it'll help my GPA and stuff like that. He wanted to go to a JUCO, National Community College. He wanted to wrestle there. And he saw that I wrestled in college, and I did really well the first year, despite me having a bad ending of my high school. A lot of people don't know the high school story and everything about it. When people look at it on paper, they're like, "Oh yeah, how is he doing this or whatever?" He's like, or they're thinking, "Oh yeah, this college is easy or something like that, whatever it is." But when you actually take a deep dive into everything that happened in my high school, you would be like, it sort of makes sense a little bit, but at the same time, you'd be like the level he had to push himself. You know what I'm saying? It makes sense. I didn't have a senior. I missed my senior night. I missed the majority of my senior year. A lot of people don't take the credit for don't give me any of that stuff. They just look at my record and stuff like that and my matches, and they're like, "Oh yeah, he lost matches." The matches all my matches I lost, basically all of them, were the best kids were kids that were ranked the best in the state, top in the state. Were they the best in the state? No, but they were ranked in that range. And should I have beat them? Yeah, there were close matches, which I was. The only issue was my stamina was awful, because I bulked up from 170 to 220. I was not gonna have good stamina. It wasn't. I was eating double stuffed golden Oreos every night trying to gain weight. I remember from Target and stuff like that, they sold it for cheap back then. I think it was $3 back then, something like that. I used to go to Dollar Tree and buy a bunch of those cookies and stuff like that and eat a bunch of them because I had to gain weight, and that was the easiest way. So yeah, that's what I did. And what you call it? Yeah, so a lot of people don't understand. No one actually understands the weight thing as well, how I gained so much weight. And also there's something else on the side that I'm not really talking about, but there's also something else that I was dealing with throughout the senior year, which made me jump like crazy going to college. But yeah, it's of course, I don't want to make this specifically about college wrestling. I feel like my daily recap videos are getting a ton of views, but the reason why they're getting tons of views is because it's so focused on just wrestling. When you're a wrestling audience, a wrestling audience is loyal and everything like that, and they'll watch the full video. But I'm like, how long can I do these video on realistically? I could probably do them for the rest of my life if I really wanted to, but I feel like I enjoy talking more, and I feel like it's not going to be rewarded actually. With the daily journey, I feel like the talking's for the long form videos. I gotta make it so I know I'm not gonna like it as much, but I gotta make it with the short form videos. It's just me going through my day with music and just quick, fast pace, and it's 15 to 20, 15 seconds max. It has to be 15 seconds, so I can get the watch time as high as possible. Get pushed out to other people. Of course, my lifestyle isn't crazy. I'm not living in some D1 University of Michigan. I'm not wrestling there and having some crazy life and stuff like that, and I don't have all that stuff. I'm living a life where I'm wrestling at a new school. I'm producing a ton of content. I make every single day I produce at least 1 or 2 long form videos a day. So yesterday I would produce 1, and today I would post 2. I would produce 1 or 2 long form videos every single week, or every single day. 1 or 2. It really depends what day it is. Then I'd also, every single week, I'd also make 1 other long form video about wrestling, a deep dive into a wrestling thing. That's 1 time a week. So I'm producing a lot of long form videos, but I'm also doing 2 times short form videos on 3 accounts, and that's all getting posted on 3 platforms. So I'm producing a lot of content. You know what I'm saying? And this is the safest way, posting 2 times a day on each, because that's the highest amount you can post. I mean, there's higher you can do, but I want to be safe. You know what I'm saying? Because I posted 28 times a day before, and I got shadow banned. I was barely getting 200 views for so long. I was at a range where I was barely getting any views for the whole month. Oh my god, I feel awful right now. But yeah, I'm gonna explain how my life went really quick because I'm almost at my destination. So I started off with shoulder press. I did 155 for 6 reps. I did it 2 times. Then afterwards I did incline dumbbell bench. I did 75 pounds. I was focused on speed. So what I do is one day I do heavy. So on the first day I do incline dumbbell bench heavy, on Monday, and then on Thursday. It's Thursday or Friday. I think today's Friday because yesterday was the close of the gym because of Christmas. But yeah, I did that for I did that anyway, 75 pounds for 8 reps for 4 times. And then I did weighted pull-ups. I did lighter again. I was doing 30 pounds only for 6 reps because I did shoulder press before and my shoulders were tired. Then afterwards I did dumbbell rows, 115 pounds for 8 reps. And I did lateral raises, 40 pounds for 12 reps. That was more about light and stuff like that. So it was a good workout, I felt like. It was very tiring and stuff like that, but I got through it. And, that's really it. It doesn't matter about it doesn't matter about the wins. This is where the real wins come from. When you push yourself through these times when you don't want to do anything, that's where you really win. You know what I'm saying? And that's something a lot of people miss until the end. And some people never even get it. Some people will be like, oh yeah, I didn't even care about the destination. It was about the journey. Because this is where you really grow. This is where the real wins come from the journey. It doesn't matter about the destination. In 4 years' time, I will be lifting a lot more heavier than I am right now. I will be considered one of the, I'll do really well and everything like that. And I have a really good base for my content. But right now, it's about the journey. I don't care about the destination, A lot of people focus on the views. I got my video got 3,000 views yesterday. But and that's cool and all of that, but I don't care about the views too much. Of course, I had some high-level wrestlers, like a bunch of D1 I talked about, a ton of D1 and a ton of wrestlers like me and stuff like that, but it's not about that. It's really about enjoying the journey and really, pushing myself in the wrestling world, you know what I'm saying? I wouldn't, if I just did my normal thing, on my regular personal account, if I just posted there, I didn't even post, if I just, posted one time, a wrestling photo and stuff like that, and, posted one time every single 6 months, because I had that mysterious image where I was wrestling, there's a couple D1 teams on my main account, I had photos of that, but I didn't really ever, have anything else, and, I had that mysterious thing, sort of, but who's ever gonna figure out about me? How am I gonna grow myself in the wrestling world with that? Sure, it looks cool, having that huge following, 3,300 followers, over that much, and having, 2,000 following, it looks sick having that huge following, but who cares if they're not gonna support you or anything? These people hardly even know me. They just know me because they think I look strong, good, whatever it is, and I'm wrestling good, my performances. And you gotta realize, are you loved for who you are or what you are? You know what I'm saying? Are you loved for the type of person you are or what you bring to the table? Are you only loved for your achievements, your athletic ability, or you're loved for your who you are? Think about that. And yeah, that's really it for now.